it's Michael Webb. This is an expansion of a case study I wrote about in my book, Sales Process Excellence. The company, called ABClear, supplies water quality products and services to food service businesses. ABClear went from having lots of problems and no way to improve to measurably improving in both strategic accounts and through distribution channels. This is case study number 2. It's about what happened in ABClear's distribution channel. Case study number 1 covers ABClear's strategic account managers. This video has been edited for brevity. A fuller version of the case is on the definitive B2B guide page and in Sales Process Excellence. ABClear's distributors like to sell expensive products like ice machines, coffee boilers, steam tables, and other equipment to restaurants. ABClear's water filtration equipment was not in that league, price-wise, but it was a nice add-on sale that generated future sales of high-margin refill cartridges. The salespeople who handled these distributors at ABClear were called Business Development Managers, or BDMs, and although the company's distribution strategy had succeeded over the years, it was becoming harder and harder to achieve their goals. Kevin Kawada, the general manager, spent a lot of his time trying to solve this problem. He said, "In order to capture more market share and accelerate our growth, we need to change the behavior of our BDMs so they view their territories more like a business manager growing their business, as opposed to spending so much time managing distributors." Of course, there was a rub. What different behaviors were needed, and how could this be accomplished? To find out, Kevin realized his team needed to take a step back to deconstruct and reconstruct the business. As they worked with SPC, ABClear's management began to realize why it was getting harder to achieve their business growth targets. The market had changed. Signing up additional distribution channels no longer achieved sales targets. And new kinds of competition were appearing from online sources. Promotional discounts to achieve quarterly growth targets had become standard in the company's history. All that focus on total revenue tended to hide another important issue. Detailed analysis of the data revealed that unit sales of systems had been declining for several years. Some guided discovery work with SPC made it easier for everyone to see where improvement needed to start. Both the SAMs and the BDMs needed to develop respectful agreement among themselves for how to do their work. They needed a baseline to start from. Voice of customer research revealed distributors felt service quality and lead time performance were often frustrating. Worse, over time, ABClear had lost contact with the dealers and end users distributors sold to. Further, the initial attempt to map out the sales process and information flow produced what was dubbed the spaghetti bowl. They had to acknowledge it was not a sales process at all, but an almost indecipherable and time-consuming ordering process. The team leader knew if they were to escape these conundrums and actually grow the business, they had to get a handle on retail and dealer channels who bought from the distributors. Their research taught them what the main problems of these dealer companies were, and how they tried to solve them, and how decisions were made. Gradually, a business fit between the owners of certain kinds of dealers and ABClear's products and services emerged. How water problems can grow your sales and profit. The participating BDMs developed sales tools and ROI models. They learned to cast their value propositions in terms of a sales process, first learning about the dealer's challenges and goals, and then offering to sign a new dealer only when there was a match. Such a match wasn't the end point, but the beginning of a lot of work for both companies. That work was built around the typical customer's journey for the dealer's customers, the food service operator, a retail restaurant chain. They also learned that the typical dealers and their salespeople didn't really know much about the water industry. This meant motivating them had a lot to do with educating, so they specifically targeted the individuals within the dealer's business who needed to be influenced. After the dealer owner, the most important person was the field technician, so that's where they focused first. As they became more experienced at leading discussions with these individuals, they got them to set up positive, mutually beneficial plans. Then they scrupulously followed up on those plans, conscientiously acting out the plan, do, check, act cycle. This adoption took place slowly, a few individuals at a time within the dealers and a few BDMs at a time within ABClear, but the results were strong almost from the start. In the early stages, there were only a few BDMs participating in the Sales Process Excellence Initiative. This is a process control chart illustrating the systems sold through existing distribution channels by BDMs who were not actively participating in the initiative at that point. Here's a comparison of the system sales of BDMs actively participating in the initiative. It measures sales through new dealers those BDMs had signed up. Rather than merely servicing their existing distributors, these BDMs had found a way to grow the demand in their distributors' territories. An active Sales Process Excellence initiative made the work and the results visible and measurable. In territories where BDMs adopted Sales Process Excellence, new system sales started growing again. Perhaps most importantly, the BDMs could see who was being successful and why. Changing the direction of any large organization is a challenging effort, and bringing in changes from someone outside the organization is bound to generate immune reactions. Sales Process Excellence provides the mechanisms for managers and leaders to engage the energy of their people to continuously improve results.